Well, finally, some good news coming out of Cricket Australia. We're going to Pakistan. Haven't done that since 1998, and they've picked the Test squad. So we can move on from the shenanigans that have gone over the last weekend regarding coaches. So, the team that they've picked, I'm really impressed with what they've got there. They've got a very good balanced lineup. Now, let's go through the 11 that I think will play in the first Test match. Khawaja will open the batting with David Warner. Yes, Harris is on the tour, but I don't think he'll play a game as a spare batsman. I think being dropped in that last Test match here in the Ashes, I think he's very lucky to be here on this particular tour. So he'll be carrying the drinks for most of the tour. And it'll be great for Khawaja to be able to play Test cricket in the country he was born in. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he performs there. Labuschagne, Smith, Head, Green, Carey, Cummins, Stark, Lyon. And coming in at number 11 will be either Hazelwood or Swepson, depending on the condition of the pitch. If they think it's going to be a turner, they'll go with Swepson. If they think they'll get more value with reverse swing at the back end, they will go with Hazelwood. But for me, I would go with the extra spinner because the way that Green is bowling at the moment, he can do the Hazelwood job. But also, you've got other all-rounders in there as Head bowling some off-spin and Labuschagne with his little leg spinners as well. Can add a bit of variety there. But you still want to go in with two frontline spinners. They might even have Mitchell Marsh come in instead of Head just to add depth in the pace bowling department and utilise Labuschagne instead of Head with more part-time bowling. So they've got those extra options there, which is good. Now, they've rewarded Boland and Nisa, who are on the tour. I think that's a fantastic selection. And also, Inglis is over there as the backup keeper. I would not be surprised if he gets a game at some stage on this particular tour because he's a very good player of spin. So Carey is under a little bit of pressure in this Test arena. He's got to make sure he performs in that first Test match. Otherwise, Inglis might get an opportunity. And you've got Agar there as well with his left arm off spin, and he can bat a little bit as well. Will they play him as an all-rounder at some stage instead of Green in that particular spot and play three frontline quicks and a spinning all-rounder? I don't think so. I don't think Ashton Agar has got at Test level, I don't think his batting is good enough to be a frontline all-rounder at Test cricket, even though he has performed admirably. Now, the weaknesses. Really, for me, it's Nathan Lyon and Swepson. Swepson with his inexperience and Nathan Lyon not doing so well over the last year or two. They want more value from him. Now that he's got his 400 wickets up, I think that we'll see a little bit better Nathan Lyon. And you still need Mitchell Stark in the team to create some rough outside that right-hander's off stump for Lyon to really come into the game. And you've got Shaheen Afridi from Pakistan there too, which will help Nathan Lyon. So those two areas, or those two particular players, is where Australia might be a little vulnerable at this stage. And Stark in those conditions over there, if the ball's not swinging and there's not that much bounce, how will he change his game plan? Is he capable of just hitting a good length, hitting top of off and trying to ball the batsman out? Because he can be a little bit wayward at times and not have that consistent line and length. There's only one player that's going to be missing on this particular tour, and that is Jai Richardson. He's a small, fast bowler, very skiddy, swings the ball both ways. I think on Pakistan conditions, he would have done a lot of damage over there, and he would have probably been the best option in the fast bowling department. But they're worried about his workloads. They want to make sure they get his body right so that they give him the best opportunity to have longevity in his career. That's why he's not over there. Other than that, I think Australia have got a huge chance of beating Pakistan on Pakistan soil. It's going to be a good series. But the other issues for Australia is in the coaching department. I said that at the start. We've moved on from there. But Andrew McDonald has got his first opportunity to show the world what he can do in that particular position. Can he bring the troops together? It's going to be a tough tour over there in Pakistan with all the talk about Justin Langer leaving. Can he get them up and make sure that they perform, because this group of players is going to be under a lot of pressure with what happened to Justin Langer as the coaching department. They've kicked him out because he was a little too demanding from all reports. Now, they want to go on their own way. They want to have a little bit more relaxed environment. Well, they've got to make sure they pull their socks up and perform out centre stage. If they don't, well, the media, the journalists and past players are going to be after their necks. Australia haven't toured Pakistan since 1998, so let's see how good my math is. That's 24 years ago. Now, that's not good enough. More international teams should be touring Pakistan because it's a hub of cricket. It's one of the major nations, and people are getting starved of not seeing their stars, the Pakistan team, live. And now the kids, the next generation, are going to be able to get close up with their heroes, hopefully be able to get an autograph, hopefully be able to get a picture, and also hopefully be able to see them perform at their best on centre stage. And we might even get the odd Pakistan kid to be like a Khawaja, the next Pakistan player of origin to represent Australia. There is so much positives in it. We need further cricket, more international teams going to Pakistan. We can't shy away from it. It's been too long. It's been too devastating for Pakistan cricket. We need a bit of an uplift, and that's the big positive, or one of the big positives of Australia touring Pakistan. Thanks very much for joining me, and look after yourselves. And India taking on the West Indies in 50-over cricket, I think it's a lay-down misère. What that means is India are going to win 3-0 quite comfortably against the West Indies. I can't wait for the T20 series. I think it might just turn around and be a little closer. Thanks, guys.